Welcome to the Dread Archive. Today we are telling you about a couple. They thought it was a ghost. What will be next? Watch to find out. My friend Ron and his wife Tina bought a new house about 4 years ago. At first, everything seemed amazing. A nice house, a quiet neighborhood. Safe, right? Well, a few months after they moved in, I met up with Ron for some drinks, and he started acting a little weird. When I kept pressing him, he finally caved. He was convinced, absolutely convinced, that his new house was haunted. Now, I can be kind of a jerk sometimes. I started to laugh. I mean, haunted? He told me that someone did die in the house. The agent disclosed it before they bought it. But because of that, Ron and Tina had convinced themselves the ghost of that dead person was haunting them. I'm not a believer. Spirits, ghosts, it's just not my thing. I dismissed it. But he kept giving me more of the story. He said that every night, he and Tina wake up at some random hour. There are strange noises coming from everywhere in the house. Not the pipes settled, not the house settling. It sounded like something bumping into furniture and moving around. They would wake up in the morning, and things would be misplaced or moved completely. Ron said that on one occasion, he left his favorite Miami Dolphins coffee mug on the counter. And in the morning, it was just gone. They searched everywhere. It was gone. He didn't think it was paranormal then, just weird coincidences. That all changed a few nights before Ron told me the story. They woke up to a huge crash coming from the basement. He went down to investigate, loaded with boxes and storage, so it was hard to tell if anything had just fallen over. But while he was down there, something moved in the corner of the room. Ron ran out of there so fast and hadn't gone back since. He was calling this paranormal activity now, and he was terrified that if he kept antagonizing it, things would get worse. It sounded ridiculous to me, but I could see that he was really upset, scared to sleep in his own house. He told me he and Tina had slept at a hotel the last 2 nights because he'd convinced himself that something was in that basement, and he was physically unable to go down there. I started feeling bad. I offered to check the basement thoroughly. I told him they just needed to calm down, and I would check every corner to make sure no ghouls were present, and whatever noises they were hearing could be explained somehow. He was hesitant, but I shut that down quickly. Ron drove me to the house, but he was going to wait outside, and we couldn't tell Tina. Sketchy, right? When we got to the house, he begged me one more time not to antagonize the spirit. Me being me, I fully intended to antagonize the imaginary ghosts. We walked around the house. Nothing seemed weird or out of the norm, other than a nasty odor, like body odor. Finally, I went into the basement. Boxes everywhere. I started shouting for the ghosts to appear. Nothing happened, obviously. I was about to leave. Then I decided to have a little fun at Ron's expense. I pulled out my phone and started recording a little video, selfie mode, just to show Ron as a joke. I made a comment in the video about how there aren't any ghosts, just storage. And as I turned around, lifting the camera to show the storage over my shoulder, I thought I saw something weird. In the corner of the screen, I moved the camera back a little bit, and sitting right there wasn't a ghost or a demon, but a sickly, creepy old man, out of instinct. I just turned the camera off and ran up the stairs, slammed the basement door, and held it shut. I heard the old man screaming on the other side, a painful wailing sound. He started trying to open the door. I'm holding it shut with one hand and calling Ron with the other. When he answered, I blurted out that he needed to call the police because there was a man in his house, not a monster, a man. The man made his way up to the door and started repeatedly saying, "No, no, no," over and over again. Cops took like 10 minutes to show up. I tried to hold that door shut the entire wait, and this guy tried to open it. The whole time, as soon as I heard the police cars, I let go of the door. The man busted through it. Moment where I was standing face to face with this old man. He was clearly insane. His eyes looked plastic. He screamed in my face so loudly that it knocked me over. And then he ran out the back door, deceivingly fast. That old guy. I yelled for the cops, who were just jogging through the house. No urgency whatsoever. They looked for a bit, but couldn't find him. Ron called Tina, told her what happened. She was angry, then in shock. We went into the basement to check everything out. That awful smell, definitely body odor. In the corner was a small pillow and a blanket. The smell was worst over there. Also next to the blanket was Ron's Miami Dolphins mug. I gave the cops the video, but they never caught the guy, as far as I know. Turns out, before this, Tina never locked the doors. She grew up in a nice neighborhood, thought nothing horrible could happen. One day, when they were at work or sleeping, this man just walked into their home. Now, she checks the locks 5 times before bed, no matter how nice of an area you live in. If you leave the door unlocked, you'll always be inviting unwanted strangers into your house.